Hello, fellow Mythrunians! It is that time of week again. We're having another weekly live stream. Tonight I'm going to be working on some animations, so we'll be in Blender doing that stuff. Although I can go over a little bit what I've been working on the last week. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and I can turn on the light that I built, that I put up here. Let's make the brightness a little brighter, maybe. Yeah. Now I'm not quite so dark. Alright, so I've been shoring things up. Yeah, those are those patrons, by the way, keeping the lights on for me. Fallen off a little bit these days, but we'll see. We'll see what we see. Okay, yeah, so let's look at the rigger. I think last time I had activities working. I've since been moving more of that over to real Java code. I've also started tightening up the waypoints, the walk paths and stuff on the navigation paths. So before we get into Blender, let me just run through what we got. Blink, blink, and why we're going to do what we're doing today. So we'll create the mob here. Yeah, so we had her, and then we can tell her, you know, go build a dagger, and she'll do her thing, and we can follow her. But now, instead of like 100 little teeny little points, like, she builds actual waypoint, like paths and stuff. She doesn't really walk upstairs yet, but and she teleports through doors. But that's something we'll work on later. So yeah, right now it's calculating the path to the next chest. Too many logs, too many logs. So, hopefully everyone had a good week. I finally got past, I think, the busiest part of work, and so I can start focusing on other things now. Yeah, so she didn't find anything in that chest. She's going to check this chest, and she'll find the rod and the hammer. She'll go over bang, bang, bang. And of course we don't have an animation for bang bang bang, although we could fake one. And so then, like, if we want her to go to sleep, we can say sleep. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I started working on modes, where I can put her into a mode, and if I put her in a different mode, then it'll turn off all the things that she was in that mode for. So it's kind of like we're combining a state machine with a behavior tree. And I have a feeling that's going to be the sweet spot for us. Uh-oh, she got stuck. Will she know she got stuck? Yep. Okay, so we can try again. Yeah, because she doesn't have the contact avoidance stuff that the other prototype stuff did. She gets stuck on stuff. Normally she'd have a little probe ahead of her to keep her from, yeah, so she's going to keep getting stuck. And I don't really necessarily want to eliminate that, because it's useful for testing at this point. Okay, let's let her calculate it again, and then she'll walk up. Yeah, there we go. Like, if I want her to get stuck, it's easy to make her get stuck right now. Then I can test actions failing and stuff like that. So she'll just teleport up the stairs here. And then she'll try to teleport into the bed. Yeah. So a couple things I need to fix are where she walks to see that she's at the bed. But what it would be nice to do is when she's over here at the bed, if she could, you know, facing the bed, and then we had an animation for her to turn around and sit on the bed, and then another animation for her to lay down in the bed. And there's a bunch of logistical problems to work out as far as physics, body, animation, syncing all that up, because her position is actually what she considers to be her origin is actually down here where this little grid is. And so as she works through the different animations, for sitting, that's okay. You know, I can just have her sit. I can physically have her turn around and then sit, and her root can stay there. It starts to get weird when she lays down. We'd really like her root to be up here in her butt when she's sitting, so that it would be easy to transition to a lay down animation. But anyway, I plan to do, if I can, today a regular sit, like sit on a chair, sit on the edge of a bed, sit on whatever, and then a sit on the floor, and also a lie down from them both, lie down. And I don't know if I'll do, we'll see what we do with transition animations, but I at least need the poses, because I would like her to be able to sleep, get up, and so on and so forth. And sitting on the floor and then being able to lay on the floor. Laying on the floor is like the first step to having dead things too. So anyway, so that's what we'll be working on. But this is coming along. Yeah, was there anything else I was going to say? Oh, I was going to show you that we'll just fly over there. I don't want to make her walk again. I redid the anvil model. Oops. Let me unfollow so that I can move my camera around. Let me turn off this debug stuff. So yeah, I put it on I made it smaller so that it's more realistic. I'll put another female here so you can see it's like right at the height where you'd want to be hammering. Technically a real anvil I think is a little lower, maybe. They're usually mounted to some huge block of wood or some other stationary thing. So I changed it a little bit. I want to have cones so that I can have the proper horn here, but whatever. The other thing is, I lengthened it a little bit this way too, and that'll give me room when I want to make the version for dwarves, which probably has this part cut out, and then probably a stone base instead, and probably not as thick, right? Because dwarfs are going to be shorter, they've got to still be able to, so it'll probably be this height. So anyway, I was just messing with it because I got tired of it being so big. These chests are really huge too, but just to get her to walk to this, she was constantly getting stuck and not being able to walk because it tries to walk to the center, and she can never navigate close enough reliably. So anyway, I think it looks kind of cool, considering I made it just out of blocks. Alright, all that being said, let's go ahead and get started on the animations. I've already got Blender pulled up and I've got her in kind of an editable state. And we may have to flip back and forth to the web a lot because I haven't used Blender in a while, and there's always that I'm trying to figure out the best way to keep my YouTube status up. I probably should have pulled it up on the other screen, to be honest. But the critical thing I want to see is this little part here, so we'll just leave that right there. And you guys can't even see that because it's underneath the yeah, so actually this is the perfect width for this. What I've done is I've moved this it's underneath the chat. You can't see it, so that actually works out well. But still, you have 4 concurrent viewers. We had 5 for a second and somebody gave up, but that's, I don't necessarily believe the I don't necessarily believe what it's telling me. Yeah, the other weird thing is, like, when I transition from using my tools to using Blender, I always want to use WASD to rotate this around and zoom in and out. So I have to train myself to retrain myself to not do that. Okay, I think we just go into pose. No, control tab. No. Well, control tab will get me there. Oh well, that's the thing, is we don't have the right thing selected. There. Now we go into, yeah, there we go. Automatically in pose mode. Now, I did remember something. Okay, and so for sitting, I kind of want, I'm hoping that the transition between standing and sitting is just a tween and it'll happen okay. You know, I really want to see, how do I look at the rig? Like, you can't turn, not the rig, but the skeleton. I thought I kept it around so that I could look at it. Is this it? No. Or that's just hidden for another reason. Alright. Anyway, so let me remember how to do all this. But I kind of want, what I was going to say is while she's sitting, I kind of want her to have, like, she has this idle animation now. You know, I don't want her to just sit static. So I'm going to give the same, 120 frames of idle animation. So maybe we can have her, shuffle around in her chair a little bit. Oh, the other thing I'm going to want to do is probably give myself a spacer so I know, like a block to be like the standard sitting height, which is going to be weird because I want her to be able to sit on half-meter blocks, but I think the chair and the bed are shorter than that. Is that true? You know what? We can check. Oops, yep. Cradle, run, blockhead. Do. Because I could be totally wrong about that. I think the chair is a half a meter. And the bed... Okay, that's just the bed frame. Okay. So we've got 1, 2. Yeah, so it's just a little, it's shy of, if I had done full blocks here, it would be a half meter. But let's see what the chair is. Remind myself of the chair. It could be that should be our standard. Nope, 1, 2. So chair is a half meter tall, and or half meter at the seat, a full meter tall. Okay, so we'll make it a half meter, and she'll just sit funny on the bed, I guess. I'll make the bed taller is what I'll do. Let me see what that looks like. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. It always happens. Like I did half blocks for these, but I'm thinking, I think in old Mythruna we did full blocks. Yeah. Yeah. That's just a really thick looking bed. Anyway, we'll see how it works out. I'm not gonna save that now. I like the look of the shorter one, but we'll see. All right, so I need to make a, oh gosh, I don't even know what scale I'm in here. She is 1.61 meters tall in Mythruna, and I know that just because I've had to do it a lot. So let's add a cube. And how big is the cube? Cube is 1 meter. And I think in Blender. So let's make it 1.61 and see if that's the same. Oop, not that. 1.61. Yeah. Dimensions 3.22 meters. Oh, okay, because that's a half. That's an extent, right? Okay, so let's make it as tall. So let's put this back to 1 because that's better. Let's see how big it has to be to fully envelop her. We'll go this side because it'll be easier. Alright, this will be perfect actually. So it may, yeah. And oops. Doink, 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 doink. Oh yeah, I keep WASD-ing to rotate around just a little bit. Okay, so that makes her 6.4. Times, or wait, 6.4, no, 1.61 divided by 6.4 equals point, so it's about a quarter. So then if we, so this would be 0.8. Or no, I just got to remember. I just got to remember multiply everything by 4. That's why I started out doing the right thing, which was taking this this 6.4 divided by 1.6. I think it's like 1.6101 or something like that. So we'll just consider it be 4, and we'll multiply it by up by 4. And so then if we want something to be a quarter of a meter tall, it's going to be 1 meter tall in here. Does that make sense? So let's do this as 1. Why does that seem wrong? It seems too small. We want this to be 0.5. There's something wrong with my math, because that should be twice as big as it is. See, I think that's closer to right. Right. Times 4. Oh no, if I wanted a half block tall. Right, if I wanted it to be times 0.5, it should be 2 meters tall. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, no, this is right. I did math wrong. It's fun to do math in front of everybody. So that's the height of a Mythruna chair, and we can double check that in the game. Yeah. We can see if it's a similar look. Before I go through the trouble of posing her, I want to be sure. It's funny that, there we go. Now I'm not so dark. Oh, see, it just depends on what's on the screen. So if we start the simulation, anyway, there's just a lot of things that have to line up, and it pays to do the lining up early. So this should be her, yeah, so right at her knees there. And in fact, we can take a screenshot. In fact, let me turn her around and back up a little bit. Let's back up as far as I can, and then we should be able to see. Right. So right at that surface, we get that flat. I'll make a screenshot just in case. In fact, I'll take a snip of just this part, and I can have that over here to refer to as we need to. But see, like it's about the same, so that should work out okay. Let's name this something else. half block. And while we're at it, we will go ahead and, oh, it is all the same dimension. Perfect. Alright, so that's about as close as she can get. So if she turns around, and let's go back to here. Pose mode. We're going to make sitting up. So like as opposed to sitting down, which is on the floor. Oh, cancel. We don't want to do that. We want to make a new one. I think otherwise I'm just renaming the, right? New action. Yeah, okay. So we'll base it on this one, but we'll call it sitting high. Let's call it sitting high. Alright, and then, like, I don't remember whether I need to do push down and stash. At least do stash. One of those two will get it to show up sitting high. Oh, and then I've got a, I think, no, push down. Then that gets it to the F. Right. Nope. I think that's what gets at the F. Yeah. Okay. So I protected it. But I think they all. I think one of those is necessary. One of them is not, and I may have screwed myself. Anyway, so let's default pose. We'll go sitting high. There's a certain amount of me using Blender that's a little bit lore and ritual. So yeah, so this is the same animation as the idol at the moment, but now we can mess with it. So what happens if I just, oops, what happens if I were to just move that? Does it smartly do what it's supposed to do? Oh, look at that, it does. Nicely done. I mean, the hands don't do what they're supposed to do. But, and so now I think she'll, yeah. Oh, I didn't set the, yeah. I didn't keyframe it. Okay, so let's do this again. G. Ah. Always forgetting to do the things. Okay, so she's gonna, I think I want it to be a little more down like this. Let's see what that looks like from the side. Yeah, see, that's okay. I don't care that she I mean, the hands I gotta fix, but the butt interpenetrating a little bit, that's okay. Maybe not quite so much. Okay, but the key is to have her sitting, and so let's, no, I want to insert a keyframe. Location. And so now, yeah. And she should plop back down real quick. Yeah, okay, cool. And we'll cut and paste this to here, and here, and here. Come on. Oh, interesting. Okay, so technically I can now remove these, because this one doesn't move. There we go. So now she's got all the same idle stuff as she did before. Let's make it so we can see it a little better. And she's doing stuff with her hands that is a little weird. I want to make sure she's still breathing and moving a little bit though. Yes, as we were getting all the movement before out of her torso, or this hips, because that was causing her to sway. And now that I've removed that, her body's kind of boring. So we're going to put that back, but in a different place. So what's the one I want to use for that? I think it'd be this one, right? And we can move it. That looks a little weird. Rotate it now. Maybe a little combination of the two. What's this one? G. Yeah, it's funny because her head doesn't move, right? Yeah, so that is probably the one we want to deal with. Okay. So let's make the regular let's see, she's kind of sitting off to the side right now. And so we will insert a pose, location and rotation. And then right now she does have an animation. No, she doesn't. There's just keyframes. I think I was overriding something else. Oh, I left this running. Okay. Okay, so we'll give it like, trying to remember. Okay, so that's my normal branching off point. What frame was that? 5. So frame 5 and frame 115 should be the same as the end pose. Oops. There we go. Frame 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. Frame 115. And the end also. Blink. And then in here, I will have her just in X, slide a little bit over to the other way and rotate a little bit. We'll see if that looks okay. I think it's going to look too much. That's the thing with the idle. So you'll find in video games some of them have like really exaggerated idle animations when you start to look at them. And when you try to make something realistic, people don't move that much. So let's insert the location and rotation, and we'll cut and paste this, and we'll paste it over here so she'll sit still for a second. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, see, she's doing too much movement and maybe not enough rotation to make that much movement mean something. So yeah, we're gonna tone that down a lot. So G, we are only in the X. Insert Control C, Control V. Okay, let's see if that's a little more subtle. Oh, Oh, apparently the idle animation is longer than I thought. That could be problematic. Is it, or did I just screw up? I think I just screwed up is all. I had too many things selected. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Yeah, that's what it was. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Yeah, that's what it was. I had too many things selected. Okay, so this one. All right. Why is it that they don't show the little, these are the same. That's weird. Usually they bridge them when they're the same. And I'm looking at them and they're not any different. Oh, Blender, sometimes you really confuse me. Okay, so let's redo this. Back over to just a little over center. And then we will insert location and rotation. We will just select this one. Control C, Control V. Yeah, see, this is what I, okay, so this one, Control C, Control V. Why? See, I don't understand why I don't get the little bridge there. Must be some aspect of those that's different. Scale, because I'm not scaling, that's why. Okay, so let's, and maybe we will want to, so I'm going to go ahead and location, rotation, scale this one. So we'll end location, rotation, scale. Yeah, there we go. Control C, Control B, Control B, Control V. Alright, so that makes me feel better. But probably we want to do the same thing here. So let's insert location, rotation, scale, Control C, Control V. Alright. Yeah, I think her head has an animation already and it's not synced up with the chest, so that looks weird. And too much movement on the hands, really. Alright. Anyway, it's all an iterative process, right? The other thing is, I think her feet look kind of weird. Can we... Here we go. Yeah, see, I don't think these move at all. G, Y. But they could. Insert location, rotation, scale. Control C. Control B. Yeah, this isn't really doing anything. I know it's like somewhat boring to watch somebody create animations of idle poses. Oops. Yeah. G, Y, a little bit forward. Okay. And we're going to insert location, rotation, scale. Control V. Actually, we can just Control V down here. Huh. I mean, it might be fun to animate the feet a little bit too, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so the feet are stationary. We could have her tap her foot a little bit, but the thing is the animation's not very long, and so she'll be tapping her foot a lot. Alright, so let's work on the arm poses a little bit so that they're a little less crazy. Yeah. What is the animation I have on the arms? Are these actually different? Yes, they are. Alright, so these are going to be good ones to change. First of all, we'll make it so that they're not clipping into the thing, at least. Oh, shoot. Yeah, shoot. As soon as I knew, as soon as I moved that, I was going to do that. Okay. I mean, realistically, she could be sitting with her hands up on a table. We don't have that, and that'll require some trickier things to make work. So I'm just going to at least have her look good sitting. I didn't in... I don't like to have the auto keying on because I've ended up screwing up animations because I forget it's on, but then I also forget to manually insert. Okay, so this will do this, and she'll move it back down here. But I don't think that's right anymore. So we're kind of like, see what that's like. Maybe not so much. And can we move it back? Oh, this one doesn't move that. Okay. That's fine. So it doesn't move at all. It kind of does, yeah. Too much in a way. Yeah, it's like moving with her body that's moving, but I'm going to make her body move less, so that's going to be a little weird. We're looking at this arm over here. Yeah, so there's a rotation that happens somewhere else as well. We have to track that down. Let me see what all of the things are doing. Okay, there's something going on with the spine. Is that this one? Nope. This one? Nope. This one? The neck has an animation apparently. Does it though? Location, rotation, scale is the same. It doesn't. What's changed? Nothing. Apparently I have keyframes that are all the same. I think they're just there to hold up. I think probably I copied, probably all of the things at these frames. So that's not useful. I need to look at things with animations in the middle, like the head, the upper arm left. The neck doesn't have anything. The chest does. I think that's what we were already messing with. Is this chest? Yeah, that's chest. Neck doesn't, head does. Okay, what happens? Let's watch this. Oh, see, her arm is moving in and out too. That's one of the things that's wrong. I think it's going to stay at her side. So let's go back and we'll mess with this again. And this time we'll rotate it this way. Rotate this way. Insert. So now it will rotate out just a little bit. And maybe I want to make these more subtle too. Alright, that didn't seem to change anything. In fact, it made things worse somehow. I think I screwed something up. Alright, so this needs to go here, and here, and here. And then you here. You need to get rotated in like this. And then we come, yeah, I think I just had the wrong frame selected or something. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so she barely moves that arm, that's fine. I think if we do something similar to the other arm, okay. Alright, let's Control F3. Rotate up here like this. This one I think we can have it a little higher. Just thinking. Oh, apparently. Huh. Yeah, see, I'm not using IK for these, so I have to like hand animate if I want the hands to be in the constantly same position. So if she's like holding something, it's like she's resting it on her leg a little bit. And then we will adjust where they don't look right in the center. Maybe that's okay. Am I spending too much time on this? Yes. So we should finish this in a second here. Let me get her head looking somewhat sane. let's see, what is the, oops. It's like, I should have marked it down, 55. .55 is the one where if we want to make this right again, we insert rotation scale, and then it's like 65, I think. I don't know, makes her look a little more alive. And I think the head's weird though. Like, I don't think it makes sense for the head to be so in sync with the body. So we'll remember 55 and 65 is where it normally is, but I think we're going to make it lead that a little bit. So then she'll like look over and then lean, and then she'll look back. Maybe even further. Shoop, 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 shoop. And then we'll have to put something in there. So see, she looks over, then leans a little bit, and then she slowly looks back. Actually, I like that. That's fine. We'll call that done enough. I kind of want to see if this plays at all. So let's go back to, I try to put it back in default pose just in case it matters, and then we want to be in object mode. Select her, select the rig, no, select her, I think. I don't think we select the whole rig. Then we'll export her as, well, first let me save. Export as GLTF. It should remember all my settings from before. And export. And it takes quite a while because there's every one of those animation frames is huge. Probably I need to go through and clean up my animation tracks. But I think it's just how the GLTF exports like every frame or something. Because most of this data is just the huge animation data. So this will take a minute. Many more minutes than I thought. Okay, so that did that. Human female 1K dot blend. I need to see something. Human female 1K dot blend. I need to. Are we good? It doesn't like more source main rigor. I can't remember if I fixed it so that it'll look in. Oh no, yeah. Models human female. Okay, that's where it's looking for it. Is it looking for it in Blender? Model. Human, female, 1K. Oh, that's right. GLTF. Yeah, it's in two places. So I started when I was rigging up the new ones. I just started having them refer to the Blender directory, but now I think update human female. I may have already done this. So we got to copy all the things. Yeah, okay, I already did. Update. Anyway, as I was saying, for the newer models, I started just referring to the Blender directory instead of making myself copy them over all the time. One day I'd like to have like all the time in the world to reorganize all these from scratch, but that's not fun. And making models and seeing them in the tool is more fun. So let's see if she'll still load. Did I do it correctly? Oh no. What's all this? What's all that? Oh, yeah, that's a thing I put in JMonkey Engine to let me know when the tangent binormal generator is called. So let's see if she has the animation. No. Sitting high. Yeah, there it is. Haha. Okay, so going from... Yeah, so she's got a little bit of movement. She doesn't look completely dead. She sits with a lean, though. I wonder if she's got a spine problem. It does weird things to her clothing. This is a pretty extreme bend. She has very good posture. I think probably she needs to be leaning forward a little more, to be honest. Anyway, the animation works, and I can come back and endlessly tweak it without you guys. And the root is still here, which means that it'll cut her off being able to sit on things right here, which is probably okay. And I think I don't have to animate getting into or out of the pose, because if we watch her as she goes to idle, it kind of just like works, right? The standard tweening between poses. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so she stands up. The feet sliding is not something I like, but I don't know if anyone would notice but me. Oh, her feet go into the ground. That's a problem. Anyway, not for today. I got it like enough, right? So she could sit. I got to see if she can actually do it in the game too. So yeah, so we got to like, there's a bug right now. You got to go forward and back. Okay, so now if we create her, let me control. Oops, yeah. All right. So it may not be 100% straightforward now that I've put her in here like this to get her to sit. Like I got everyone's hopes up, didn't I? I have to remember how the animations are set up for each of these. It is not as straightforward as you might think, because there's usually a network layer involved, and so you got to be able to send the timing and stuff over the network layer. And I've wrapped that in other things. Like normally there's these animation things. Fortunately, all this is still in Groovy. But there's something about, I've got to set up components that preset all of the right? Where does that happen? What is the name of that class? It is called animation config. So let's see. find xargs grep animation config. Okay. Agent system presets. Oh, that's in scripter. Poop. I'm wondering if do I preset these all in the tool? That would have been dumb. Would have been a shortcut though, and I'm known for shortcuts. Where is the playground? There it is. So there's going to be character system, care animation, action time. Okay, so something's using this. Oh, we do our own thing. Ah, well, no worries then. Okay, so getting this into Mythruna might be tricky, but getting this into here is going to be relatively straightforward. As straightforward as one might expect. But when we go into sit mode, let's say we want to turn around. Okay, movement animation, standing state. So this will be actually an interesting test because whatever the movement animation is, I need to be able to override that. Oh, she's turned while we were sitting there. That's not cool. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? I think that the when you turn off the steering, it leaves her in a there's like some leftover steering, sometimes turns her while she's standing there. Anyway, I need to be able to override these movement modes, and so this will be like the first time we're doing that. Let me look at, yeah, so we want to not do this if she's sitting, but we also want to be able to detect if she gets knocked out of her chair or whatever. It's like its own movement mode. Yeah, so that's the standard movement mode. We want to, because that bipedal movement mode, which is basically takes the movement of the character and turns it into an animation. And right? Yeah. And I don't really, so there's going to be a lot of actions you want an NPC to do, banging on the anvil, sitting, waving their hand or whatever, that don't need to necessarily factor into the movement mode. We just want to override them temporarily. And so I need to be able to turn this off while that other stuff is happening. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. So like up here, we want to, that's the thing, we still have to call in frame. I think we just want to be able to temporarily disable. Or to set an override animation on, because eventually we're going to have to coordinate with that for layers. Like right now, you can walk or you can swing your arm. You can't do both at the same time. At some point there's going to have to be a merging of those. And so I think maybe we do have to get the movement mode involved, but in a general sense. So let's make an override animation. Okay, and so then if that is in effect, we will if override animation not equal to null, we will set current animation and then animation is going to call set current action on the anim pump. So anim pump set current animation higher. Set current action. And the speed. Yeah, so we'll say set current action for now, override animation. We'll make that 1.0 return. Now we just have to be super sure that whatever sets that is then going to clear it again. Otherwise she'll be stuck. Set override animation. So right now we'll just have it be string. And eventually we can add other things like layers and okay. And so then we want to test this. And I think we'll test this with a sit action. And so let's make a sit and a turnaround action. How's that? I think I don't have, oh, I didn't clean one of these out. Okay, so those are activities. I'm going to set a mob action if if test sitting. So up here we're going to add a boolean test sitting equals true. We want to test it right now. Then we want to do this. Actually, we don't want to do this anymore. So this one will say sit. And log info sit. We'll make another one for turnaround. I'm going to eventually combine them. Well, I'm going to combine sit to detect where we're supposed to be sitting and then sit there. Turn. Let's just say turn. 180. Yeah, turn is better. Turn. Alright, so this will set up. It's not going to do anything right. It's going to add our little turn and sit buttons here, which will eventually be before the cancel. Okay, so for sit, we want to have sit action implements agent action And then I need to look up what an agent action has to have. So you guys thought we were going to be in Blender the whole time, right? No such luck. I don't know what's more entertaining, to be honest. So, I don't know. Private agent, twink, return 0. It doesn't cost anything to sit. This.agent equals agent. I think there was probably an abstract class I could have. Return null. We can't merge this with anything. Return visit. Visitor. Accept this. Update. We want to say agent. Movement mode. Set override animation. Sitting high. Sitting high. We want to do this for a specific amount of time? No, I think until we cancel. For now, we can add stuff later. When we finish, we absolutely want to set this back to null. I think probably we're going to have to worry that we're not action result working, I think is what we want. Let's see if that compiles. Yep, okay. And so then how do I get the agent from the driver? Like it's a good question. Set mob action, it's not that though. I call these agents, but they're not. They're the driver. And then there's somehow the body context has it, maybe. Agent driver, yeah. So I need to do this. Actually, let's put that back up here and we'll log it. Context dot agent driver. Boink, 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 and just see. I like to incrementally do stuff right with. Why build why do things on a creaky foundation? Yeah, see, already we're no such property agent driver for body context. I thought that was. Yes, it is. What you talking about? So if the context equals null, context agent driver. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, yeah. Body index driver. No, that's fine. Context agent. Oh, I missed the E. Typos in front of all you fine people. Turn. Okay, we've got the agent driver. Cool. Sit. Okay. So now I can say def agent equals context agent driver. Alright, and then agent run action new sit action. Alright, let's see what blows up when I click the button. Will she sit? Sit? Nope. Okay. Well, did something though. No such property in position for class sit action. Ooh, but why though? Why you care? Set up nav 611. Oh yeah. So up until now, there's like an agent action which is general, and then there's one that's got an end position, so that like tools that need to know location and things can determine that from the action. And so when I created this thing that debug visualizes the stuff, if not action instance of, what is it called, agent position action. I've been really tempted to just combine the two, and always have actions potentially have an end position and just never, and potentially not use it. But anyway, so let's see if we can do it now. Sit. Oh boy. So she's running the sit action, but it didn't change anything. Cancel. Clear leftover starting movement. Let's make sure that really canceled. Again, we want to make sure that whatever happens, that it always gets cleared. We'll make a logger here. Static logger log equals logger factory go logger sit action dot class. Oops. I think we actually don't want to do this every time. I think that's, well, going to be a problem anyway. But if that action doesn't exist, it's just going to pump the logs. So we'll just say log info start and finish. All right. Let's see if those are even getting run. Sit. Ah, see, that is useful. Rig does not have action sitting high. I think it, oh, I know what's wrong. So, the rigger tool is designed to take the GLTFs or whatever from Blender and then turn them into binaries that the game can use. So when we did this before and we opened up the human female and we was like, oh yes, good, she's got her animations and all the things and all that's good. What we didn't do is we didn't say compile binary, which is what saves it to all the things. Yeah, I need to take that debugging out, right, because that's just annoying. I put that in there because there were some models that were still calculating this when I loaded them into Mythruna, and it's incredibly expensive to be doing that. Like every time you load a butterfly and it calculates the tangents and binormals. So anyway, now that we've compiled her, it's the compiled version that we actually load into the simulation. So it should have the sitting animation now. And yeah, we got to do this because now we're okay. All right, so then we will find the human female, create her as close to the steps as we can, and then we'll still back her up because that's the way it goes. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, escape. All right, she's sitting right there. We'll cancel, make sure she's not got any rotation at all. We will center the camera on her. And drum roll, please. Sit. Oh, she tried. Sit. She tried. Cancel. Okay. Sit. I feel like she's maybe alternating back and forth. I can't really tell for sure. But she tried to sit. I wonder if nothing's updating the pump if we exit out. Yeah, see, she's interesting. Okay. So, for one thing, we need some of the movement mode because that's also what helps her. Movement mode the stairs are wet. She doesn't want to yeah, that's right. You could be right. Or they're cold. She doesn't want to get piles. The movement mode is also responsible for station keeping though. So it takes the steering force, turns that into actual movement. I think that we have to keep doing that. We have to do all of those things. It's this part where we set the current animation. Yeah, that is what's what. It's not movement mode we need to worry about. It is the movement animation we need to worry about. So whatever movement animation happens to be the current animation. Let's move that there then. If current animation is not equal to null, current animation dot set override animation. This is what we need to be doing. So I'm going to steal this. And so then we've got this movement animation. And we want to have void set override animation. Ah! Alright. Yeah, and so then down here, who sets the idle animation? Oh no, that's automatic too. So set speed. We set current animation. Yeah. And so if there is an override animation, we will anim pump set current action override animation normal speed, and we will return. Alright, let's see if that fixes it. No. It tried, so set layer action sitting high. It tried to do something, but I should probably say if not equal to null. It's a wonder. I wonder if the thing. I was about to grab a piece of gum. I feel like this is setting the physics rig and not necessarily the client, and that's why it does that little jitter right when it first starts. So we should be able to turn on body debug and sit. Yeah, so she sits in the engine. She's sitting. It's just not reflected in the UI, so there's a missing. Oh, nice. Okay, so cancel, and she stands back up. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're on the right track now. I have to figure out what sets that character. What did we call it? Character animation. Care animation. Care. Ooh, nothing. So how does the UI know? Did I hard code something somewhere? That doesn't sound like me at all. Would it be in the model view state? And in view. So we should have seen from model view state. Yep, that's where we saw this, so it is getting there. Oh, rig still doesn't have the definition. It does, though. It do, though. I'm wondering if we need to copy the models over, or let's just try rerunning. Maybe it's a, you gotta do it. Thing is, like, so the back, yeah, there must be a JMonkey Engine cache issue going on. Or I've still got to copy files. That doesn't seem right. It knows where the backend file is. Alright, so let's try. I don't even care if she sits in the right place right now. I just want to see it. Oh boy. She's wearing a mask. She's Spider Girl. But it'll work now. So she can sit and she can cancel that. But something I did with the materials, I think when I changed the mask material from mask to mask gray, that's what it was. Alright, so I've broken. So let's select this, not this, this tab. And then we want to select all the mask gray, turn those back to mask, and then so that they don't cover everything up. Gosh, I hate, okay. Ugh. I hate that I can't easily hide those because they're all part of the same mesh. And so in here I've been turning them alpha 0. I think that's going to be okay because I override all of the blend mode and stuff once I get it in JMonkey Engine. So I think it's not going to break anything to do that. But see, you can see the mesh is still there for the hat and the mask and stuff. It's just they're invisible. Alright, so we will wait till this finishes exporting because that's what we do. The faster the computers get, the more we wait for them. I feel like my chair has gotten lower. Just slightly. I have another one. I really need to replace this chair. I don't know if we talked about that before. I bought them when I bought this one, 15 years ago or whatever. I bought 2 of them because I'm used to having chairs wear out and I get used to them. So I have a brand new chair that's just like it. It's barely used. But, there's a breaking in period and I've just been dragging my feet. Plus, once you've used the backup chair, I've only got another 15 years before I have to get another one. Tell you what, if I'm still worrying about it in 15 years, that'll be really cool. Come on, let's go. Maybe we can get to laying down. And so we got to open the rig. Human female load. And then we compile the well, let's make sure it still has the sitting height. Yep. Yeah, see, I kind of think her knees need to come out. That's a little weird. It looks like she's got to go to the bathroom. So yeah, I'll definitely play with these animations. I mean, she can man spread a little bit. I think it'd be fine. All right, we'll compile the binary. And then we already know we've got to go back in because the cache. Again, so you build these rituals, and then eventually you'll fix the bugs, and then you'll still be doing the rituals. And this is why software developers make awful testers. It's like if you already know how to walk through the minefield, you're not the best person to point out the mines because you're just like, I don't know. I just always walk this way and I didn't die. Okay, so human female, we'll put her, create her here. Doink. And then we will center the camera over here. And so she's not going to sit on that thing, but she'll sit. Hey, look at that. And she's got a face. All right, cancel. Let's have her go to sleep. Sleep. So she's plotting her path to the bed now. We'll follow her. Yeah, see, this is one of the reasons I fixed these is because it's so much faster that she can walk full speed as she does these things. I got tired of watching her walk the full map. Okay, so now she's at the bed. Right. Thing is, I can't get her to go through doors unless I do the navigations. Okay, so normally we would want her to be right about here, right? And then we would want her to turn around. Oops, let's make sure she's not drifting. All right, and turning around should detect where she's supposed to sit, look in front of her or look around her and figure out what she can sit on. But let's do the turnaround thing real quick. I think that shouldn't be too hard. If I can find the right script, there it is. So let's make really quickly a turnaround action. Should be able to copy this. And we won't animate it, we'll just have her flip around because I don't want to waste you guys' time. And it, well, okay, whatever. So we'll make it instant. Success. Agent. Can I set the orientation? Not through this interface, but I think through the other interface. There's two agents, so I've got to eventually combine these, the old way and the new way. Anyway, the old way, the new way, anyway. I think I can just set orientation. So first, quad D orientation or annotation. Let's just call it orient equals agent.get orientation. Here's orient.mult new quad D from angles 0, comma math.pi, comma 0. Oops, from angles. Plural, please. Alright. Set orientation orient. Okay, so that should compile at least. Alright, now we can hook it up. Turn, we can do the same thing here. New. In fact, I should probably make it turn 90 degrees because then we have like options. Turn around action. So I will do that. Because like when it resets, she's going to be facing that way again. Haha, nice. She's got the vibrations. Good vibrations. It's such a sensation. She got the good vibrations. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so pi times 0.5. So that'll probably turn her in the wrong direction, but anyways, turn. Nope. Okay. No signature method set orientation. Okay. Sure enough. However, I do think we can cheat and say agent get orientation dot set. We'll try that. It'll probably make the physics engine unhappy, but nope, don't like that either. No signature get orientation. Yeah, we must be getting to the end of the live stream. Nope, we're still got a half hour left. Oh, that last half hour is usually where my typing goes to pot. So, blink. Okay, sit works. Cancel. That's not what I meant to do though. Turn. Turn. Yeah, it's not doing anything. That's because the movement mode won't let it happen. So I think we have to do a turn steer. Which means we might as well turn anyway. Let me we were going to work on animation, so let me show you what it's going to look like by having her back up to the bed as close as she can get. And so the idea would be we would detect where she needs to be and she would put herself in the right position so that she could sit, and see she hovers over the bed, which is unfortunate, but I don't think she'll be sitting on the bed more than for a second before she lays down. And I could just bump up the whole size of the bed, like raise this up, raise this up, raise the thickness of the mattress. Probably a good idea. It does look a little wimpy at the moment. Anyway, so sitting works all that time. Now we can play with laying down. I think we can all scale X. Okay. All right. Then we want we can still see the rig. That's fine. Okay. So then here you can sit down. Let's go to sitting high. Sitting high, sitting low, and everywhere you go. Alright, while I'm here, I do want to maybe mess with the, where's the leg? Is that this? Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't avoid it. It's just, it bugs the hell out of me. Okay, so she's using full IK for the oh, that's not even the, yeah, she's using full IK for the legs, so that doesn't even work. So I think that means we have to adjust this. Let's see. GX. Yeah. So we'll give her a little bit more of a relaxed pose there. Rotation, scale. Go to the end. Insert location, rotation, scale. Yeah, so now we could have that also kind of as she moves over to that side. Perhaps this moves a little in. Rotation scale, and then also on 55. Oh yeah, these need to also be copied to frame 5 and frame 115. So now her knee should move just slightly as she shifts around. I'm not sure that's the right direction. In fact, I'm sure it is not. So for now, we'll just leave it constant the whole time. But see, she doesn't quite look like she's got to go to the bathroom anymore. We'll do the same for over here, I think. GX, give it a little bit more room. Insert location, rotation, scale, and put it on the end. All right. Her hand on this side. I must have undone it because it got messed up again. Oops, 3. Like it's in her leg. I mean, so I think we will rotate that up like this. And insert that. Rotation up. I mean, I know this isn't very exciting, but it's gotta all be done, you know? Actually, I think I'm gonna delete these. So just constant the whole time. Oh, I see. We've got to have something, or it puts them back, right? Because the rest of the body's moving. me just verify that these are all the same. Ah, they weren't. Alright, so we're going to do something really unscientific in that I'm going to hold my finger where the hand is right now. I'm going to set this to 55, right? Then I'm going to hit R. Oops, wrong. I'm going to hit R. I'm going to rotate it up so that the hand's in the same place. Then I'm going to insert. It's very technical. Alright, so now her hand basically stays in the same place. Okay. I probably also want the hand to rotate. Anyway, I'm getting wrapped around the axle here on something that we need to move on. Because I need to figure out how we're going to have her laid down in a way that moves where her center is, the root. I think that's this. I need to be able to turn on the skeleton. Can I bones? Viewport display. Yeah, they're all hidden. How do I turn on the bones? They're all hidden. Like you can see they're grayed out. Don't know how that... Like what else? I'm just worried what else do I have hidden here. Let's go back to object mode. Alt H. Ooh, I've got a lot of stuff hidden. Yeah, so you, I'm gonna hide again. You, I'm gonna hide again. You, I'm gonna hide again. Okay, so I don't remember how to. That'll be useful when I want to adjust the positioning of that hand. I need to be able to move her root. Anyway, let's go back into pose mode. Pose mode, and I want to copy this and sleeping. Do I want to make it that general? Well, I can rename it later. Okay, and then we're gonna want to do like that. I think stash is all we need to do, but we'll find out. If I did it wrong, oh well. Sleeping, okay. But I need to be able to have her lay down where the root is, and that's the interesting part. Because if she's sitting down here, I don't want her to get down on the floor and lay down. I wonder if I can move the root up as I have her lay down. Yeah, see, that would require animation, and I kind of just want to have her go straight to the pose. Right? Alright, let's see what we can get done in 15 minutes. The first thing I'm going to want to do is probably rotate this. Rotate Z 90. Yep. Okay, so now we come back over here. No, maybe I don't want to do that. I think potentially rotating her as part of the animation. I think I am going to want to kill all of these intermediate frames though. So now there's basically no animation. Right. And so let me just pretend that I'm gonna have her rotate. I think I need to do that with this. Let's see. I forget what this thing controls. So that moves her around and rotates her. Okay. But I think that's the orientation of the whole body. So is this the root one? Okay. Yeah, I really want the full rig, but it's grayed out, and I don't remember why it's grayed out. Oh well. So I'm gonna have to do some bad things here. I potentially could rotate her as part of my animation. Yeah, because otherwise how would I know which way to rotate her? So she's going to want to rotate straight back. Alright, so let's just do that. 90? Yeah. That doesn't look comfortable at all. Mostly because her legs are flat out back, so. And so I think I will rotate this 90 so that we can. Alright. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll rotate it just a little bit up. And now for the legs. I think that, yeah, see, because without IK, well, first of all, I better insert a keyframe. Okay. And then I wonder if I can just temporarily... See, I think if I set these. I don't know if I can animate the FK. I know what I can do. I can what do I have to do? Is it this? Yeah, so do that. And not that. Where's the other one? This one. So what I can do is I can do this. I don't think this does anything. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we do that and that. And then we rotate these. Okay, so wait, rotate this. Just maybe a little bit more. Yeah, she's bow-legged. So we'll have to look at that too. Once we get these into position. The other one is over here, I think. Alright, so rotate this one as well. A little higher maybe. And then we'll rotate this down. Kind of like that. What's it? Top is 7. Yeah, okay. I think if we... No. Yeah, that's better. So insert location rotation scale. Oh wait, I want to not do that. I had a plan. You see. And alright, how does that look? Alright, doesn't look awful. I mean, the arms are crazy. We'll fix the arms in a second. I just want to make sure that this will work for the legs like I want. Okay, so the other thing is, yeah, so then with this, I should be able to take this, shift, yeah, this, and this, and while we're at it, let's just make sure. Now, so for these, I should be able to insert location rotation scale, right? And then if I were to go back to these and turn off the, no, see, shoot. But you have a keyframe. Why are you? See, the problem is that when I go back to one of these other, I think that it's going to be all messed up because I didn't animate these with the IK. Alright, so let's go back. Let's turn these off. I got to do it a different way. I think I'm probably using these, and that's okay. All right. I just got to remember how to do things is all. And so this should be fine. Yeah. We got to rotate it. Maybe rotate a little bit more. And then G. Slightly relaxed. Yeah, that's all right. And then maybe pull it in a little bit, rotate it a little bit more this way. Yeah. I just have to remember how to do things all the time. This is the problem. Okay, so Control C, Control V. All right. So that leg is correct, or correct enough. And so then we do the same thing for this side. Do a little bit of movement, a little bit of rotation. Ah, poop. G. Yeah, I don't hate that pose. There's other things wrong with it, but that's nothing to do with... Oh, boy. Ah, crap. Gotta be on the right frame first. I think I like the other pose better, but I'm not going to spend too much time trying to get it back. Yeah, that's alright. Acceptable. And so now I think we want to make her look a little less janky up here. I think these are still controlled by... Nope, they're not. So they must be controlled by this. Nope. See, this is not using IK at all. That's the problem. Not the constraints. There must have been a way to rotate the legs. And I don't know. Well, we can rotate them that way, which does work. But there must have been something else that had... There's just so many of these. Oh, that makes them easier to see. Alright, we'll insert location, rotation, scale. And we'll copy it to the end just to be sure. Does that look okay? I sort of still feel like the other leg's not quite right. Meh. I mean, it does let me move it around, but it does really crazy things. I cannot rotate it this way. That's the thing. It only rotates around itself. So I can like rotate that knee up a little bit. What does that look like? Yeah, I think that's probably okay. Okay, so the arms are the only thing screwy at this point. And it's 11 o'clock. But let's get the arms working and see. They should be easier to do. So let's just rotate that one down. Insert rotation and scale. Rotate that one. Oops. Okay. Alright, so we've got that arm in the right position. The other arm's still sticking up funny. So let's flip around to the other side. Oops, wrong frame. Okay. In fact, this one maybe we want laying like on top of her. That would actually be kind of cool. So we'll do it like this. Oh man, we're going to have to redo it, aren't we? Yep. Yeah, but maybe rotate this out a little bit. So rotate scale. And then this one. Does that look okay? Kind of. Yeah. Her hand's in a weird pose, but that's nothing much I can do about that. I gotta put the hands in a pose where they can still hold something. But yeah, I'm okay with this. Oh, the other hand is underneath her body. Okay. Let me cut and paste these to the end here. Joink. Joink. Alright. And then we will fix this one to not be inside the body anymore. Location, rotation, scale. Put that back at the beginning. Alright, and the other thing I'm going to do is, are we rotating the wrist with, yes we are, okay. So I think I want to rotate the wrist around more like that. And then from the side, oops, oh, from the side, other side, rotate it up slightly. Yeah. So rotation, scale, twink. Boink. Alright. What about the other side? Oh, yeah, the hand's up on top, so it's good. And we could have it, like, move down. Okay, so she's sleeping. Probably we could relax her head a little bit. Like, rotate this up a little. Yeah, see, that's a difference. It's a pretty big difference. Alright, that'll be sleeping for now. And I think that this is going to cause me no end of problems. in the long run. So we will select her. We will save. We will export. GLTF. We will talk about the weather and other things as it takes 2 minutes or whatever to save this. Potentially longer now. We've added 120 more frames of animation. And eventually I'll go back and have her like move a little bit. But I wanted to have one that I could use for sort of a death animation. This is like very peaceful death animation, but actually the interesting thing would be, so for a death, what would be fun would be to have a single animation that had several poses in it, and then randomly pick a frame in there. So like you'd have it laying on one side, rolling over to lay on the other side, make sure all of it sort of animates well so that it looks like a, you know, somebody just flopping around on the ground, and then whatever frame I pick could be a different sort of death pose, and some number of frames in between there to get there, which would make it like a little bit ragdoll-y without having to have ragdolls. Alright, so we got that. And so let's see if the magic happened to have that animation be available, or if I needed to do the... Again, I never remember freeze or push down. I did the one on the right instead of the one on the left. We'll see if that was good enough. Oh, why you take so long? Open the rig. Oh, wait. Frick. I forgot to copy the files. So then the other thing is, once I come up with these animations, I have to copy them to all the other three. But fortunately, I haven't tweaked them for each race yet, so which is why the males all walk kind of like feminine. Oh, we want to back over here, open the rig, human female, load. Let's see if she has her animation. Oh no, I didn't, did I? Oh. See, she's like walking bow-legged now, and that's because of the IK on that. I left the IK turned on for these. And that's global. So pose mode, I want to take this, not this, this. And no. Did I, maybe I'm wrong about this. Or maybe it's because none of these... No, that's... No, these aren't used for anything. These already had their animations. I don't know. Let's hide this. It's just the legs look wrong now. And I think... Oh, this is why. Because if I don't have a frame in this, then sometimes it picks up the frame from another. Right, so if I take this, if I take both of these, and I copy them, whatever I didn't have a, oh man. Why won't you let me copy? No selected F-curves to paste into. How do I do that? Like I should be able to copy that. Why can't I copy it into here? Do I have to insert a thing first and then can I paste it? Yeah. Blender. It all makes sense eventually. So I think this is back to being right, but I'm probably going to have to correct every one of the other animations. Yeah, because see, she's got like a wonky... so frustrating. What is the end of the jog? 40. Okay, so that's that. What about walk? Okay, walk already has frames. But it still looks weird. Oh, you know, the other thing we Frel. It's these other leg. These here. Nope, those have animations too. So what's kicking that knee out? See, now her walk animations look all messy. I'm pretty sure it was not like that before. And I didn't mess with any of those others, just the just these. Those already have custom animations. This has an extra set of custom animations. Alright, I don't know how far back the undo goes. But I kind of wish I could undo all the way back to shoot. Well, I could also load the old version. Poop. I wonder, but like, I just don't know which bone went wrong, or which of these controls went wrong. There's nothing. See, this one doesn't even do. Oh, it does do something. What if I just remove this? What happens? So apparently that's important. Okay, something kicks this leg out more than I would like. All of these have an initial pose. Even these. Yeah, so I must have like inserted a keyframe right at the beginning, so there's really no reason this should have inherited anything wrong. I'm gonna assume maybe I did this on purpose. And I'll tweak it some other time. I might compare it to the old version. Anyway, did we decide it had the animation or not? Sleeping. Maybe I'll push down this time just to be sure. Alright, let's save it. We want to actually select the default pose, I think is where we want to start. So there's probably a bunch of other ones here that are messed up. But I don't know. Let's see, I'm pretty sure for the default pose I created and so usually what I would do is every new animation I would start by pasting in the default pose. Alright, so let's save again and we'll export and then we'll have to wait. GLTF export. I just want to see the animation show up in the game or in the prototype. And there's a good chance I'll end up redoing all of this by pulling out the Blender file from Git and starting over. A little bit smarter the next time around, but at least the prototype engine thing will be set up to use them already. I mean, there's a good chance they'd turn out better the next time anyway. Update the model. Run the rigger. Continue. Come on, let me drag the window. Let me drag that there window. Alright. Open the rig. Human female load. So see now our things are all like, I feel like it didn't fix it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go back to the old version and do something a little smarter. Because the laying down has definitely affected things that wasn't supposed to affect. She's got her that got to go to the bathroom pose now. Let's see if it has the sleep. It does have sleeping. Alright, so that works. The animation worked okay between the two. So normally we'd have her idle without the let's see if the walk is still wonky. See, the walk might have always been that way to get her knees to pass each other. What about the jog? Did we fix the jog? No, see, jog is really messed up now. That's even more messed up than it was in Blender. Yeah, so something's wrong. I'm gonna have to redo all this. But so say she was idle and then she did the sitting high and then she did the, what do I call it, sleeping, right? So that would all work. It's just the thing is the game considers her position to be here. which means unless I take the collision off of the bed, like, she's not going to be able to lay on the bed because it's going to collide with the bed. So it could be that I do have to have her turn. Yeah, but then I have to know which way she's going to lay. I need to mess with finding that root bone and moving it up when she sits. And then that'll fix it. But anyway, we can compile the binary and then exit out and run it again. So we can hook them all up. And I'll show you what I mean about her falling out of bed if I do this right. Let's go back to the nav. Oh, no, we're in the right place. Okay, so the playground, we'll start the simulation. We'll go ahead and put her up in the bedroom. Controller, yeah, so she's got her, she can go wee-wee. Back her up to the bed. Okay, so now, actually we're going to have to redo that anyway. Because I have to add this, I have sit, but I don't have sleep. They call it sleep or sleeping? Sleeping. So let's add a sleep as a test. And so see, it's going to reset her to face that way, and we'll have to recontrol her. Back her up to the bed. And so see, now if we sit, she'll sit on the bed, and if we sleep, she's just going to rotate backwards. And if we had tried to rotate her, she's got this collision shape here, and if we had tried to rotate her into the bed, it wouldn't let us because it would have to collide with the bed. So really this needs to be up where she is, and I'm going to need to sort that out, and that's going to require some relearning things about Blender that I've forgotten. But the animations are like conceptually there, and I need to fix this bed. So the funny thing is if I fixed the root problem, then she would lay down on the bed because the root would be, you know, where her butt is, and the physics would figure out that she needs to be lower. But like right now, it's the floor preventing her from going lower. So I'll figure something out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. It's been really late. It's really late at this point. I appreciate it. Let's see if we go like this. Can I get the thanks? There we go. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. All 4 or 5 of you who joined me tonight. It really does matter. And otherwise, I'll see you guys online. I hope you have a productive week. Thanks a lot.